From Lowell Park, it's the fifth installment of the Barnstable Patriot Cup as the Hyannis Harbor Hawks take on the Cotuit Kettleers. And a pleasant good evening, everybody. From Lowell Park, it's the fifth installment of the Barnstable Patriot Cup as the Hyannis Harbor Hawks take on the Cotuit Kettleers. And a pleasant good evening, everybody. From Lowell Park, it's the fifth installment of the Barnstable Patriot Cup as the Hyannis Harborhawks take on the Cotuit Kettleers. And a pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome to Kettle Talk, the official pregame show of the Cotuit Kettleers. I'm John Perez. This is it. If Cotuit plans on making the playoffs, they're going to have to win tonight against Hyannis. With the loss, the Kettleers would be thrown out of playoff contention. The Kettleers played their best ball in the middle of July, and then they played Bourne on the road. Since that game, the Kettleers are 1-8 in their last 9. They had an opportunity to knock off Orleans and stay in the playoff hunt the other night. Let's see how they did at Eldridge Park. Cotuit and Orleans meet at Eldridge Park. Kevin Smith from Georgia goes for the Firebirds. Rio Gomez, the Arizona Wildcat, for Cotuit. Bottom of the fourth inning, the Firebirds would strike first. With runners on second and third and one out, Zach Kirtley lofts the ball to center. It's deep enough to get the run in. Peyton Squire tags up and scores, and Orleans is up 1-0. Next batter, Riley Mahan from Kentucky pulls this one into the hole. Riley Adams scores, and Orleans doubles their lead to 2-0. Top 5, Cotuit would strike back. Jordan Pierce from Nevada ropes a single to right. Jack Klein, the Stanford Cardinal, comes in to score, and it's a 2-1 game. Pat Dorian from Lynn came on to pinch hit for Corey Voss, and he keeps the line moving. He lines a single to center. Cal Stevenson scores, and we're all knotted up at 2. Bottom of the sixth inning, Adams strikes again. He cranks a solo shot to left, his first jack of the year, and Orleans leads 3-2. The Firebirds would tack on. Justin Jones hits a line to the left. Mahan scores. Jones tries to steal second, but Tim Sosnara, the Oregon catcher, throws him out. But with that said, it's a 4-2 Orleans lead. The lead would not hold on for long. Top 7 with Tim Sosnara at second and Pierce at third. A.J. Balta, the Oregon Duck, laces a ball to deep left. Squire can't make the play on it. Both runs score. Balta delivers again, and the game is tied at 4. This one would go to extras. In the bottom of the 11th with Brian Miller at second, Squire hits a liner to center. Klein's throw is too late, and the Firebirds win this one 5-4.
You just thank them for their effort. I know they're tired and late in the year and you're struggling, but you got to fight your way through it, and they've done a great job of that. So I just told them I appreciate the effort and have a good rest day tomorrow, and then we got 6 in a row, and come back and try to continue to play the way they've played, and they've got to look at the little things they can do to help us, and coaches got to look at the little things. But this was a new one for me, but I'm learning a lot as I go through it, and when I say that, I mean it.
We're just having fun with it. It's a great group of guys, and we had a good summer together, and we're just having fun now.
And how frustrating is that? Just another one-run loss where it could have gone the other way.
One-run losses are the hardest things, and especially in extra innings like this. But we played our butts off, and this is all we can do.
One positive for the Kettleers has been their corner infielder, Jordan Pierce. He played third base the other day. We caught up with Pierce after the game, and this is what he had to say about his recent hot streak. Over these last 4 games, you've hit the ball significantly better with better results. What's been changing for you?
This summer's been long. I just kind of starting to having fun a little bit, and just starting to put good swings on the ball.
Any one moment that it started clicking?
No, nothing really. Just decided to let loose and not be so uptight and just have some fun with it.
In terms of what the coaches have been saying to you in particular, what's been maybe the one change that you've made?
Finishing my swing has definitely helped me a lot. Coach Roberts has helped me with that a lot, and he's been on me all summer about it and didn't let me give up on it, and it's helped me.
How do you guys keep morale up at this point in the season with it ending soon, a lot of losses recently?
We're just having fun with it. It's a great group of guys, and we had a good summer together, and we're just having fun now.
And how frustrating is that? Just another one-run loss where it could have gone the other way.
One-run losses are the hardest things, and especially in extra innings like this. But we played our butts off, and this is all we can do.
So here are the scores from the other night. Bourne and Hyannis both lost, which keeps the Kettleers alive for now. Bourne, with either a win or tie tonight, will clinch a playoff spot. In the battle of the top 2 teams in each division, Falmouth beat Yarmouth Dennis. Deacon Lippett had a 2-run home run, his second of the year. J.J. Matijevic from Arizona 1 for 3 with a run driven in. And the spectacle of the night happened in Chatham. The Mariners used 4 different pitchers to no-hit the Anglers. Peter Solomon from Notre Dame went 5 innings. Zach Skellinger from Seton Hall 2 innings. Tommy DeJunis and Nick Brown each threw a frame. Pavin Smith from Virginia and Austin Fuller from MIT each cranked 3-run homers. That's the first no-hitter in the Cape League since June 20th last year, when Devin Smeltzer of the Hyannis Harborhawks and Florida Gulf Coast no-hit the Harwich Mariners. So here are the standings. Falmouth, YD, and Harwich all clinched a spot. Bourne, like we said earlier, with a win or a tie, clinches a playoff berth. Hyannis with an opportunity to put a stranglehold on the Kettleers with a win tonight. So those are the scores and the standings at last Saturday's All-Star game. There were 4 Harborhawks represented. I caught up with Tennessee's Jordan Rogers before the game. I'm joined by Jordan Rogers, headed into a senior year at Tennessee, also a member of the Hyannis Harborhawks. And Jordan, when you get the call that you're going to be part of the Cape League All-Star game, what's that moment like?
Oh, it was unbelievable. This is the best of the best in college baseball, and fortunate enough to have had some success to start off the season. So it's a blessing, and I'm just trying to take it all in.
There's a lot of SEC guys here. Does it kind of help you break into the Cape League, seeing familiar faces, whether they be on Hyannis or other teams around the league?
Absolutely. Being older helps, and playing with a bunch of familiar faces and against a bunch of familiar faces, it really helps the transition, especially with wood bats. So we're all together in this, so it's pretty good.
On April 1st, you hit the cycle, and I know you've said to everybody and their mother that you weren't thinking about, that you weren't trying to hit that final home run. But I'm going to ask, in parlay to that, how do you now in the upcoming games after that try not swinging for the fences and just stay at a level swing?
Yeah, that's kind of the give or take of baseball. Like, one day it's all going your way, the next day I was over. So it's just a matter of being disciplined in your approach and sticking with your plan, and not letting the results change anything that you do on a daily basis. So to answer your question, just staying with my approach instead of trying to do something special every night, because that's how the game goes.
You said early on in your Tennessee career that confidence was a big issue for you, and then eventually you got it. But at what moment did you start to feel your confidence rise?
Yeah, I never failed in baseball, and just getting humbled my freshman year, as that happens a lot, it just helped me grow up. And that freshman summer in Alaska, when I was away from everything and it was just me and baseball and my teammates and coaches up there, that was the first step. And then once I got back my sophomore year, I was ready to go. So it was that summer.
What are you looking to improve on in this summer with the Hyannis Harborhawks in the final, I guess, 10 or so games?
Just stay with my approach, not trying to do too much, not get too high or too low, and just play the game hard, and to be a good teammate and just go out there and compete.
And one of your teammates, Nick Senzel, played for the Brewster Whitecaps last year. Did he give you a little bit of advice on how to approach the league coming into the summer?
Absolutely. That's one of my closest friends. We've been through a lot together, so I value what he says pretty highly, and he had obviously some success up here, so he gave me tips and pointers, but he said you'll be fine, and we still talk every day, and he helped me out a lot.
I appreciate this. Thank you so much. That's Jordan Rogers, the Tennessee Volunteers and Hyannis Harborhawks, and this has been Kettle Talk Extra. From Lowell Park in Cotuit, it's time for Kettleers baseball as we get set for the 5th installment of the Barnstable Patriot Cup between the Hyannis Harborhawks and the Cotuit Kettleers. Tonight's starting pitchers are left-hander John Gavin from Cal State Fullerton for the Harborhawks and the Stanford righty in Colton Hawk for the Kettleers. Alongside Jason Doro, I'm John Perez. This is it. There are no more off days scheduled in the regular season, and if the Kettleers want to sneak into the playoffs, they need to run the table, and Hyannis has to lose every game left. Fortunately for the Kettleers, they'll have an opportunity to take a bite at the apple with Hyannis coming to town tonight. Hyannis 17-21. Let's get you their starting lineups. Leading off in right field will be Brad Netzer from North Carolina Charlotte. Ford Proctor in the 2-hole. He is from Rice. Zach Rutherford, the second baseman from Old Dominion, bats third. The cleanup spot, Jordan Rogers, the left fielder from Tennessee. Batting fifth, Dylan Busby. He'll be at third base. He's from Florida State. Alabama's Cody Henry bats sixth. He'll be at first base. Chris Hudgens is behind the plate from Cal State Fullerton. Cameron Este, the designated hitter from Baylor. And Trey Truitt rounds out the lineup. He will be in center field from Mercer. And he will oppose Colton Hawk, sophomore from Stanford, 0-4 this year, with a 4.10 ERA. And Jason, it's not exactly controlling your own destiny, but for the Kettleers, they'll have a partial control of their destiny coming forward.
2 games left against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. You know you have to win both of those. Technically, you don't have to win out. You could win 5, and Hyannis could lose every game they have left, and they could still get into the playoffs. Cotuit could, but essentially every game from here on out is a must-win. Take it one pitch at a time. They have a good starter tonight in Colton Hawk that they can start this run with.
And Hawk will look into Brad Netzer, left-handed hitter, and he throws a fastball right down Broadway. We're underway. 0-1 at a 90-mile-an-hour piece of cheddar.
And I'm particularly excited to see Colton Hawk because it's been just about a whole week since we've seen him. More than a week, actually. He last pitched on July 21st against YD. 4 full frames in that one and took the loss. His only poor performance of the season. I think he'll have his best stuff tonight.
Hawk paints the inside corner for a strike, a fastball at 90 miles an hour. Working quick, outfield straight away. The 0-2 pitch outside. He just missed it. Ball 1. Count 1-2. Netzer from North Carolina, Charlotte. Not exactly UNC, but about a half hour away from the UNC campus. The 1-2 pitch swung on and missed strike 3. He pulled a string, got him with the changeup, and there's one away. Hawk's first strikeout of the evening.
And that's a primary example of Colton Hawk stuff, a fastball that tails off the plate. And that was excellent location on the pitch against Netzer. A lot of guys when we talk about stuff, we go straight to the curveball, the breaking pitch. Hawk's fastball is phenomenal.
Ford Proctor digs in and lines a first pitch single into right field, and he'll hold up there. So just like that, Hyannis is in business. The shortstop from Rice on with Zach Rutherford coming to the plate. Zach Rutherford, the junior out of Old Dominion, hitting .285 on the year, 3 home runs and 19 RBIs. Right-handed batter as Hawk comes to the set. Gets a sign from the catcher Sosnara. And the pitch is low, ball 1. Zach Rutherford had a huge all-star game for the West. Went 3 for 3 with a home run and 2 runs driven in. Was named the Western MVP. Hawk from the belt, kicks and delivers. And the fastball is popped up right side of the infield, now trailing in foul territory. The first baseman, Genista, is underneath it, and he'll haul it in for the second out. Now let's get you the defensive alignment for the Cotuit Kettleers, going from left to right in the outfield. Quinn Brody, Jack Klein, and Cal Stevenson. And on the infield, left to right, Jordan Pierce is at third. Ryan Hagan, the shortstop. A.J. Balta at second base. Grayson Genista is the first baseman, and the battery of Colton Hawk and Tim Sosnara, the Oregon Duck. And Jordan Rogers now will step to the plate from Tennessee, hitting in the cleanup position this evening. First pitch from Hawk, and a fastball bounce in the dirt. Nice backhanded stop by Sosnara, ball 1. Rogers headed into his senior year at Tennessee, went 2 for 4 against Wareham on Wednesday night. Those 2 hits cracked a 9 at-bat hitless streak. Hawk behind 1-0, the pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike, 1-1. Rogers at Tennessee this year hit the cycle on April 1st. Drove in 8 runs against Kentucky, hit a home run in his final at-bat to complete the cycle. The 1-1 tap back to the mound and Hawk will actually take it all the way to Rogers and apply the tag, and the side is retired. So no runs a hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. We've played half an inning. It's Hyannis nothing, Cotuit coming back on the Cotuit Radio Network.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is New England's premier oceanfront resort, a proud member of leading hotels of the world.
The Kettleers and Cotuit Athletic Association welcome Spencer Hollett Plumbing and Heating and the Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod as members of the exclusive Kettleers Club in 2016.
Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa. A time you'll always remember, a place you'll never forget. A proud member of the leading hotels of the world.
The Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod is keeping Cape Cod positively different by partnering with community organizations like the Kettleers and the Cape Cod Baseball League. With 9 convenient branches from Falmouth to Harwich and everywhere with mobile banking. Visit mycapecodbank.com to learn more. Welcome back to Lowell Park. Colton Hawk from Stanford threw a scoreless frame in the top of the first. And now Cotuit will get its chance to bite the apple. Cotuit 12-25-1 in the Western Division, giving them 25 points. And let's give you the starting lineup. Quinn Brody from Stanford will lead it off. He's playing left field. Jordan Pierce, the third baseman from Nevada. A.J. Balta, the Oregon Duck, bats third at second base. Marcus Inman makes his first appearance for the Kettleers this summer. He's a designated hitter from West Virginia. Tim Sosnara, another Oregon Duck, behind the plate. Ryan Hagan bats sixth. And he's the shortstop. Grayson Genesta, the Wichita State first baseman, bats seventh. Batting eighth, Jackson Klein from Stanford. He's in center field. And Cal Stevenson is the right fielder, headed to Arizona next year. And he'll head, and that lineup will face John Gavin, headed into a senior year at Cal State Fullerton. 1-3 with a 6.20 ERA in 8 games. 5 starts for the Harbor Hawks this year. That's 29 total innings. His last start came last Thursday against Brewster at McKeon Park. Gave up 2 runs on 4 hits, struck out 5 Whitecaps in 5 1/3 innings of work. So Quinn Brody will stand in, left-handed batter, hitting .307 on the year, 3 home runs and 12 RBIs. Lefty on lefty matchup, outfield straightaway, as is the infield. And we are set to go in the bottom of the first, and Brody rips a fastball right down to the first baseman, Henry, who catches it on a knee and then takes it to the bag himself. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Quinn Brody still aggressive at the plate. He's been looking to be swinging on that first pitch for just about this entire season, but he's been most aggressive these last couple weeks, and it's paid dividends. That time, just hit it right at the first baseman.
Someone else who has been reaping the benefits of working on his swing is Jordan Pierce. He steps to the plate, left-handed batter from Nevada. And the first pitch from Gavin is a breaking ball low, ball 1. Jordan Pierce hitting .156 on the year, a couple of home runs and 11 RBIs. Went 2 for 6 with an RBI single on Wednesday night. Gavin the long windup and the fire. And the 1-0 is grounded on the ground to second. Zach Rutherford will flip it on to first. And Jordan Pierce is retired for out number 2. And that's something that we've seen as of late, Jason. The Kettleers are just jumping on these first or second pitches.
Especially at the top of the lineup. I think Mike Roberts wants this team to be attacking early so that they can play with a lead. So many times this season, Cotuit had to play from behind. That held true for just about the entire first couple weeks of the year, and it has held true during this rough stretch in July.
A.J. Balta, left-handed hitter, whacks the first pitch over the Kettleers' dugout on the third base side, out of play, 0-1. Balta was an all-or-nothing guy on Wednesday night, went 2 for 4 with a 2 RBI double and 2 strikeouts. The 0-1 pitch paints the inside corner for a strike, 0-2. Balta, the redshirt sophomore from Oregon, as he watches a breaking ball bend high and out of the zone, 1-2. The sun has finally come out after a day of just rain as the 1-2 pitch is bounced on the ground to first. The first baseman, Henry, will take it to the bag himself. And 1-2-3 go the Kettleers. We've played one full, no score, here at Lowell Park between Hyannis and Cotuit. You're listening to Kettleers Baseball on the Cotuit Baseball Radio Network. The Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod is keeping Cape Cod positively different by partnering with community organizations like the Kettleers and the Cape Cod Baseball League. With 9 convenient branches from Falmouth to Harwich and everywhere with mobile banking. Visit mycapecodbank.com to learn more.
Bank of Cape Cod is proud to sponsor today's Cotuit replay from a former Kettleer. With branches in Hyannis, Osterville, and Falmouth, rediscover local banking with Bank of Cape Cod. Cody Guerin from 2006 has this replay. I loved my time on the Cape. Between working camps with my teammates for kids around Cotuit And winning the division that summer, we had an amazing experience that I'll always regard as one of the most magical seasons of my life. I can remember during home games how much I loved going to the concession stand and having the best chowder and New England-style hot dog of my life. To this day, I can still hear "Have a Hit" echoing through the trees down to the bullpen bench, the smell of buttered hot dog buns, and the cool, salty Cape breeze rolling in from right field. My love of baseball was reborn in that summer. The passion, drive, and joy of the game in an area that lives baseball at its most essential level. There are fans and families that you connect with for life over the shared bond of a game older than us all. That brought us together and will bind us forever. Though there have been many exciting days in baseball for me, no season will ever be able to touch how my months on the Cape impacted me, not only as a player, opening doors and learning the game, but also as a person who was immensely blessed to be in such a magical place for a very special period of my life. Cody Guerin, currently pitching with the San Francisco Giants, with his Cotuit replay, brought to you by the Bank of Cape Cod, with branches in Hyannis, Osterville, and Falmouth. Rediscover local banking with Bank of Cape Cod.
Top of the second inning, we're scoreless here between the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and the Cotuit Kettleers. Hyannis will send up 5, 6, 7 in their order. Dylan Busby, the third baseman from Florida State, steps in. Busby on a 3-game hitting streak, 4 for 11 in that stretch, went 1 for 4 on Wednesday night with a couple of strikeouts. Colton Hawk worked around a 1-out single in the top of the first. Cotuit went down 1-2-3, and the first pitch is a breaking ball that's low, ball 1. Busby's father, Wayne, drafted by the Chicago White Sox in the 19th round in 1988. Never made it higher than Double-A. He retired in 1993 at the age of 25 with the Orlando Cubs. 1-0 pitch cranked down the left field line, and that's going to go foul out of play. Hawk working quickly. The third baseman, Pierce, even with the bag at third, and that's nubbed on the ground to short. Pierce will cut off his shortstop Hagan, then fire it across the diamond for the 5-3 putout.
And that's another advantage of Hawk's fastball. Tails in to those right-handed hitters, and it'll tie up a guy like Dylan Busby, who is all over home plate.
So that'll bring up Cody Henry, the catcher out of Alabama. Hitting .248 on the year, 2 home runs, 23 RBIs, and 16 extra base hits. And the first pitch is a fastball outside, 1-0. Second straight start that Hawk and Cisnaro working together, and Hawk working quickly. And the 1-0 is fouled back to the screen, 1-1. Hawk has been working on his breaking pitches as of late. Said he's starting to feel a lot better in the bullpen, just throwing them and even bouncing them. And it was the high breaking ball that tagged him in his last start. 1-1 pitch, and it's a fastball outside, 2-1. Hawk working quickly now. 2-1 pitch, fouled off to the left side into the stands. Count 2-2. Henry 5 for his last 20 with 4 doubles. 2-2 upstairs, 3-2. Now the 3-2 pitch lined up the middle, and the roller will get past the diving second baseman Balta into center field for a base hit. And another 1-out hit for the Harbor Hawks as Henry holds up at first, and Chris Hudgens will head to the plate.
They may have a pair of singles, but they haven't been all that impressive. That one's just a slow roller into center field. A case of hitting it to the right spot for Cody Henry.
Hudgens digs in now, right-handed batter from Cal State Fullerton. Out of Valhalla High School in California, drafted in the 35th round by the New York Yankee. First pitch, line drive, base hit, center field. Stopping at second is Henry, and pulling up at first base with a 1-out single is Chris Hudgens. And the Harbor Hawks have runners on first and second and one out.
Colton Hawk just elevated that pitch a bit too much. Up in the zone, over the plate, inside a touch, but still something that Hudgens can handle. And he got around just in time to rip it into left center.
And as is the story with every starting pitcher, when they leave a pitch up, it's going to hurt you. Trey Truitt steps in now. Center fielder out of Mercer, left-handed batter with runners on first and second in a scoreless game. Top two, Hawk from the stretch, kicks and delivers. Fastball low, ball one. Excuse me, it's Cameron Este steps in, the designated hitter from Baylor. Trey Truitt on deck. Henry off of second, Hudgens off of first. Hawk will check them both, now comes to the plate. And a fastball is lined out of play behind the plate. Count even at 1-all. Este hitting .221 on the year, 1 home run and 6 RBIs. 1 for his last 11. That one hit was an RBI double at Chatham on Sunday night. Absolutely no wind based on the American flag out in left center field, and a breaking ball bends in there for a strike, 1-2. As we've seen with Hawk earlier on in the year, it's his ability to finish batters that has hurt him sometimes. He's ahead 1-2, swung on and missed strike 3. He got him with the fastball at 91 miles an hour, and down goes Este for out number 2. First strikeout for Hawk, a second strikeout for Hawk. And now Trey Truitt will step in. Right-handed batter from Mercer. The third baseman Jordan Pierce backs up, infield straight away nonetheless, and a first pitch curveball in there for a strike, strike 1. Truitt hitless in 3 at-bats against the Gatemen on Wednesday evening. From Dothan, Alabama. And the 0-1 pitch is a breaking ball smothered by Tim Sosnara, the catcher. The check swing by Truitt will be appealed down to first base, and no, says the first base umpire Mark Ottavierno. I wouldn't exactly call it torrential downpour this morning, but the field did a total 180. And what a great drainage system that it has. 1-1 pitch, swung on and missed. Count 1-2, a 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
The field looks like it's in impeccable shape right now. In fact, it looks like it might be better. I think it could use some rain after what was a pretty dry summer to this point.
And you would have never known if you came to the ballpark about a half hour ago that it was even damage. 1-2, hit right back to the mound. Hawk will take it this time and then flip it on to the first baseman, Genesta. And that will do it for the Harbor Hawks after the top of the second. So no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. At the end of 1.5, we're scoreless here at Lowell Park between the Hyannis Harbor Hawks and the Cotuit Kettleers.
Hallett Plumbing and Heating, a family-owned business, has been providing plumbing and heating services to businesses and homeowners on Cape Cod for over 100 years. It's what you'd call local, as Spencer is a 4th-generation member of the business and 12th-generation Cape Codder.
Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports such as football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. Read about the success of the Curry Colonels and their championship teams. It's all online at curry.edu.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod. With 2 care hospitals and more information, please visit capecodhealth.org.
Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is the perfect blend of fun and excitement. A proud member of leading hotels of the world. Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and mobile application development, online at curry.edu.
We head to the bottom of the second inning. We're scoreless between the Cotuit Kettleers and the Hyannis Harbor Hawks, and the Kettleers will send up Marcus Inman, the cleanup hitter. Kettleers went down 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Inman, Sosnara, and Hagan due up for the Kettleers against John Gavin in his second inning of work. This is the first appearance for Marcus Inman. Just completed his freshman year at West Virginia. Hit .258 with a home run and 14 RBI in college balls. And the first pitch is a breaking ball from Gavin. Swung on and missed by Inman, 0-1. Inman just signed 4 days ago. This is the first time that he has played, and the 0-1 is roped on the ground to short. Ford Proctor's up with it, and he'll wing it across the diamond to retire Inman for the first out.
Mike Roberts must have a lot of trust in the new addition to throw him into the cleanup spot in his first appearance as a Kettleer. Hit the ball pretty solid in that first at-bat.
Well, the thing on Inman is that he does have some power. His average needs to go up by his own standards. However, we've seen with Cotuit manager Mike Roberts, he'll put his best hitters in the leadoff spot, even if they're traditionally a 4-hitter. The 5-hitter, Tim Sosnara, comes to the plate, left-handed batter from Oregon, and the first pitch from Gavin is fouled back to the screen. A good rip at a fastball at 87 miles an hour, 0-1. Sosnara hitting .265 on the summer, no home runs, 11 RBIs. Went 1 for 2 with a walk and 2 strikeouts on Wednesday evening at Eldridge Park in Orleans. 0-1 pitch, fastball, line to right field. Coming on is the right fielder Netzer. He's going to have to play it on a hop. And scooting into first base with a 1-out single is Tim Sosnara.
Great job by Sosnara, just waiting on the breaking ball, keeping the weight back, and then throwing the hands through the inner part of the zone.
So that'll bring up Ryan Hagan, the shortstop. Hagan staying close to home from Sugar Hill, Georgia, not that far from Mercer. And Sosnara off on first movement, and they got him in a rundown. First baseman Henry will throw it to Proctor, and they tag out Sosnara on a very much early stolen base attempt. Mark that 3-6 in your scorebook.
And we've seen this a lot this season. Mike Roberts, when he tells his players to steal, they're almost always going on first motion. That means if the pitcher is going to pick off, well, you're probably going to end up in a rundown between first and second.
And it's so much tougher to do against a left-handed pitcher. First pitch to Hagan, right down Broadway for a strike, 0-1.
And the best time to do that, going on first motion, that is when you don't have a count yet. You don't really expect the pitcher to be throwing over at that moment. There's a good chance he just glosses over the new base runner.
The wind and the fire, and it's swung on and missed by Hagan, 0-2. Gavin checking in at the sign. Infield straight away, the third baseman Busby behind the bag. Outfield a step to their left. No score here between the Kettleers and Hyannis Harbor Hawks, and what is pretty much an elimination game for the Kettleers if they want to sneak into the playoffs. 0-2 pitch, breaking ball sits outside, 1-2. Gavin on the same page with Hudgens. 1-2 underway. And a fastball in the dirt that skids away from the catcher Hudgens towards the on-deck circle of the Kettleers on the left side of the field. For ball 2, 2-2. Ryan Hagan, a natural second baseman, has been playing more shortstop this year. 2-2 pitch underway. Hit in the air out to center field. Coming in is the center fielder Truitt. He dives, and he makes the grab on a dive. Nice play by Trey Truitt to retire Hagan. He took the first step back and then had to pedal his way all the way in. And he robs a single from Ryan Hagan to end it. So no runs on a hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. We've played 2 full. Hyannis nothing, Cotuit nothing on the Cotuit Baseball Radio Network. Cape Cod Healthcare. Expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care. Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod Healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgent care.
If you're looking for quality plumbing and heating work, call Spencer Hallett at 508-428-6080 or visit their website at hallettplumbing.com.
Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is New England's premier oceanfront resort, a proud member of leading hotels of the world.
The Kettleers and Cotuit Athletic Association welcome Spencer Hallett Plumbing and Heating and the Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod as members of the exclusive Kettleers Club in 2016.
Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa, a time you'll always remember, a place you'll never forget. A proud member of the leading hotels of the world.
The Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod is keeping Cape Cod positively different by partnering with community organizations like the Kettleers and the Cape Cod Baseball League. With 9 convenient branches from Falmouth to Harwich and everywhere with mobile banking. Visit mycapecodbank.com to learn more.
Spencer Hallett Plumbing and Heating, a family-owned business, has been providing plumbing and heating services to businesses and homeowners on Cape Cod for over 100 years. It's what you'd call local, as Spencer's a 4th-generation member of the business and 12th-generation Cape Codder.
Top of the 3rd inning, Hyannis nothing, Cotuit nothing. Hyannis second time through the order. Brad Netzer, the leadoff hitter from North Carolina Charlotte, will step in. Left-handed batter. 0 for 1 with a strikeout in the 1st inning against Colton Hawk. Hawk winds and delivers. And a breaking ball sits low, ball 1. Take a look at some scores around the rest of the league after this pitch. The 1-0 is high, 2-0. At Yarmouth Dennis, the Red Sox and Brewster Whitecaps are tied at nothing. At Arnie Allen Diamond in Falmouth, that game will start at 6 p.m. 2-0 pitch is high, 3-0. Chatham at Harwich, 2 days after Harwich used 4 pitchers to throw a combined no-hitter against the Chatham Anglers. They'll send out Hunter Williams from UNC. 3-0 pitch, and it nicks the outside corner for a strike, 3-1. Simon Matthews will go for the Anglers. And then the late game is at Eldridge Park in Orleans. Brooks Wilson makes his first start of the summer for the Firebirds against Bourne. A.J. Moore, who's 0-6, will go for that. 3-1 lofted in the air down the right field line, and Cal Stevenson's going to watch it go out of play. That'll bring the count full.
And if you're making it down to Arnie Allen Diamond tonight, be aware that Falmouth is sending out Jeffrey Passantino, who is arguably the best pitcher in the Cape Cod Baseball League this summer, with a .75 ERA in 36 innings on the mound.
And the Kettleers are happy that they don't have to face him anymore. 7 shutout innings the last time that those two met on the 4th of July. Payoff pitch underway, breaking ball low, and there's the first walk surrendered by Hawk. And Netzer will scamper down to first. So that'll bring up Ford Proctor. Just completed his sophomore year at Rice. Went 1 for 1 before leaving the game on Wednesday night after fouling a ball off his kneecap. Treg Habercorn came in. And Hawk will throw over to first and keep Netzer honest. Outfield straightaway. And the first pitch is upstairs, ball 1. An 88-mile-an-hour slider that Hawk just couldn't bring down. for Proctor. His full name is J. Clifford Proctor, and you might be asking how he came up with the name Ford, and it's a lot simpler than you might think. He just took the last 4 letters of his middle name. The pitch is in there for a strike. The runner goes, a throw down to second, and Sosnara guns down Netzer. Both teams now with a caught stealing. And Netzer to the dugout with the first out.
The hit and run obviously on there for the Harbor Hawks. Proctor saw the fastball up high. It gets by him and into the glove of Sosnar, and then he realizes, oh, I have to swing at this pitch. And he just kind of waved the bat across the zone so he doesn't get chewed out by the coaching staff later.
It was one of those, I tried, coach.
A brain fart, maybe? It's a pitch that you never want to swing at it, but given the play that's on, you're required to. And what Hyannis really wants there is for Proctor to foul that pitch off.
The 1-1 pitch is laced up the middle. The second baseman, Balta, with a backhand. He'll zip it across the diamond and retire Proctor for the second out. So 2 away, and that'll bring up Zach Rutherford. Popped out to the first baseman, Genesta, in the first inning. Rutherford hitting .309 in the month of June, and he watches a breaking ball bend in there for a strike, 0-1. Working quickly now, and the fastball cut on and missed by Rutherford, 0-2. Rutherford is a guy that strikes out a lot. He struck out nearly once a game, 37 Ks in 38 games so far. And the breaking ball is in there, strike 3 called. So Hawk faces the minimum. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We've played 2.5, no score here at Lowell Park. You're listening to the Kettleers Baseball Radio Network. Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports such as football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. Read about the success of the Curry Colonels and their championship teams. It's all online at curry.edu.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod. With 2 acute care hospitals and 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org.
Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is the perfect blend of fun and excitement. A proud member of leading hotels of the world. Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and mobile application development, online at curry.edu.
Bottom of the 3rd inning here at Lowell Park. The Kettleers will send up 7, 8, 9 Grayson Genesta, Jack Klein, and Cal Stevenson in a 0-0 affair. Genesta from Wichita State, playing first base this evening. He's really found a home at first base. Lefty-lefty matchup against John Gavin. And a fastball right down Broadway, 0-1. Genesta hitting .212 on the year with a home run and 8 RBIs. 8 extra base hits as well. 0-1 underway and a fastball way outside, 1-1. Genesta hitless in 4 at-bats with 2 strikeouts on Wednesday night. He's hitless in his last 5 at-bats overall. 1-1 pitch sits low, 2-1. And Gavin's still trying to find his slider. It's about the 3rd or 4th slider that he's thrown so far. Behind 2-1, and a fastball nicks the outside edge, 2-2. Genesta this year at Wichita State .326 in 57 games. 2-2 pitch. Fastball just a little low. That will bring the count to 3-2. Genesta is a guy that's susceptible to a breaking ball with a base open. Let's see what they do. Fastball, and that's chopped foul towards the on-deck circle in front of the Kettleers dugout on the third base side. And we'll do it again. Genesta ranked as one of the top 10 first basemen in the country by Prep Baseball Report and Perfect Game coming out of high school. 3-2 pitch, outside ball 4, and the first walk issued by Gavin. And scooting on down to first base is Genesta.
I think we've seen Genesta's plate approach really mature over the course of the season, too. It seemed like he was hacking away, not as selective early in the season. And now he's taken more of that Cal Stevenson approach where he's looking for a pitch in a certain part of the zone. He's happy to work the count to 3-2, 3-1, wherever he needs to be where he can get a pitch that he can drive or draw a walk like he just did.
Jackson Klein, a right-handed hitter playing center field from Stanford, digs in. Genesta off of first, and the first pitch is swung on and missed by Klein, 0-1. Klein just celebrated his 22nd birthday on July 13th from San Francisco, California. Outfield straight away, as is the infield. The 0-1 pitch is a fastball that floats high, 1-1. And of course the name Klein and Stanford go hand in hand. His grandfather Bud Klein, a two-sport athlete. In fact, the baseball diamond at Stanford is named after the immortal Bud Klein. Genesta off of first, the 1-1 pitch. That's a fastball at the belt for a strike, 1-2. In fact, I was talking to Klein earlier this year, and Klein said when his grandfather passed away a couple of years ago, there was a man that came up to him and said, "Oh, Klein, that name's familiar." And of course, this was at Stanford, and we'll get to it right after this as Gavin throws on over to first and Genesta stands in safely. So after speaking to this gentleman for a couple of minutes, Klein looks at him and says, "Oh, this guy looks familiar." Gavin from the belt, kicks and delivers, the 1-2. Popped up, right side of the infield, ranging out is Rutherford onto the outfield grass, and he'll make the grab with two hands, one away. Well, anyway, long story short, after figuring out who he was talking to for a couple of minutes, he realized it was the Say Hey kid, Willie Mays, and that Willie Mays actually knew Bud Klein. Of course, Mays played all those years in the San Francisco area at Stanford.
How about that? That's wild.
So Cal Stevenson will come to the plate. Left-handed hitter headed to Arizona. Genesta off of first. No score here at Lowell Park between the Harbor Hawks and the Kettleers, and Gavin will throw over to first again to Genesta. Well, the question that I have is, how did he not know it wasn't Willie Mays right away?
That's what I'm wondering. I feel like he's pretty recognizable.
First pitch to Stevenson is a slider low, ball 1. But how about that? Just you think, oh, it's, a gentleman's coming over, giving nice words to my grandfather. Oh, yeah, and it's just Willie Mays. One of the greatest players to ever play the game. Another throw over from Gavin, and Genesta back standing. But then Klein said after that, he just got goosebumps after the whole meeting was over.
The conversation really is bound to take another turn when you find out you're talking to Willie Mays.
The 1-0 to Stevenson, fastball nicking the outside edge for a strike, 1-1. You can sort of excuse Klein, though. I mean, he didn't see him play live, per se. And another throw over to first base, and Genesta scampers back.
Well, and it's easy for us to say you should recognize Willie Mays. Probably every time we've seen Willie Mays, he came out onto a baseball field in a Giants jacket and threw out a first pitch or something.
1-1 to Stevenson. And another slider low, 2-1. But I'm willing to forgive Jack on that. You know, it did happen at Stanford while he was headed to a practice. I'm sure Jack had other things on his mind, of course. He's one of the hardest workers on this team. 2-1 pitch, laced in the air out to left field, ranging over is Rogers. To his right, he'll pluck it out of the air for the second out.
We've talked about this with several guys this season about how this isn't an off season for them. They're still working clinics in the morning. They got practice. Then they have the ball game. If it's not an off day, they're putting in a very long day. But this is their off season per se as compared to what they're doing at school, balancing classes, practice, and a live season from February into May. Sometimes even into June if you talk about a run into the College World Series.
So a fellow Cardinal now digs in at the plate. Quinn Brody, left-handed hitter, 0 for 1 with a ground out to first in the bottom of the first inning. And another throw over from Gavin. And Genesta once again not going anywhere. The lead gets a little bigger. Runner not going. First pitch sits upstairs, a fastball at 74 miles an hour, 1-0.
I'm somewhat surprised at how occupied Gavin is with Grayson Genesta at first. We know Grayson Genesta has decent speed, but he's not a great accelerator. At 6'4", he doesn't steal a lot of bases. He has to take a little bit more time to get going.
Only 2 this year. 1-0 pitch, and another fastball high, 2-0.
That said, with 2 down, runner on first, 2-0 count for the batter, this is a situation where Mike Roberts wants to get a runner into scoring position. And Genesta has a pretty good lead right now.
No score last half of the third. Runner on first, 2-0 pitch upstairs, 3-0. Outfield straight away, the 3-0 pitch. And that's on the outside edge for a strike, 3-1. Gavin once again working quickly, 3-1, hit in the air out to deep center field, ranging back is Truitt just in front of the warning track. He's got to play, and he'll haul it in to retire Brody and the Kettleers. So no runs, no hits, no errors. They leave one on base at the end of 3 full innings. It's the Harbor Hawks 0, the Kettleers 0 on the Cotuit Baseball Radio Network.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod. With 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org.
Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is the perfect blend of fun and excitement. A proud member of leading hotels of the world. Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and mobile application development, online at curry.edu.
Cape Cod Healthcare. Expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care. Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod Healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgent care.
If you're looking for quality plumbing and heating work, call Spencer Hallett at 508-428-6080 or visit their website at hallettplumbing.com.
Earn a a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the
Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is New England's premier oceanfront resort, a proud member of leading hotels of the world. Top of the fourth inning, no score here. Between the Hyannis Harborhawks and the Cotuit Kettleers, Jordan Rogers will lead it off for the Harborhawks, and here to take you into the fourth inning, Jason Doro. Jason.
Thanks so much, John. Scoreless ball game here at Lowell Park. 4-5-6 up for Hyannis. Here's Colton Hawk's first pitch of the inning. Curveball low and outside for ball one. Hawk has looked good through these first three frames. He's given up 3 hits, but has worked his way out of jams. Ground ball left side, scooped up by the shortstop Hagen onto first. There's one away. Rogers now 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs. Last time he hit it right back to Hawk on one hop. That brings up the 5-hitter Dylan Busby. Hyannis' third baseman is 0 for 1. He grounded out to third base to lead off the second inning. Hawk also has 3 strikeouts in this ball game. He's walked just 1 man. First pitch on the way for Busby, a breaker on the outer edge for a called strike. Cody Henry will follow Busby, then Chris Hudgens for Hyannis as they try to break the tie. 0-1 on the way. Another curveball in at the knees for a called strike 2.
And a good start by Hawk. The last 3 innings that Hawk has pitched, he's got the first batter out easily.
Fastball inner half fouled off. Busby drilled it into his own leg.
And then Hawk would proceed to give up a hit.
Base is empty, 1 down in the top of the fourth. Infield playing deep for Cotuit, including Jordan Pierce at third base. 0-2 offering. Fastball poked up the first base line, but foul. Hawks fastball registering at 90 miles per hour on the gun. Righty versus righty matchup. Cotuit in their red uniforms this evening as they honor the military on Friday night. Hawk misses with a heater inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It's a nice look with the camo hats as well.
1-2 pitch on the way. Curveball in the dirt. Busby works it to 2 balls, 2 strikes. And of course, this is the last Friday of the regular season. We have just 5 games left after tonight. 6 games in 6 days for the Cape Cod Baseball League coming up, starting tonight. Tomorrow, Cotuit will head out to Doran Park. They'll play the Bourne Braves at 6 o'clock, and they'll wrap up the weekend with a game here at Lowell Park against the Chatham Anglers at 5. Hawk gets his sign. Here's the 2-2. Big looping curveball upstairs, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And the Kettleers are obviously still mathematically in it, but let's say that things happen for the worst. Those final games, Kettleers could be spoilers.
Payoff pitch off the end of the bat, and Busby stays alive.
Because you've got Chatham that's 3 points behind Brewster. That's essentially a game and a half. YD is still looking for the number 1 seed throughout in the Eastern Division, and of course Hyannis looking to get the number 3 seed because nobody in the Western Division wants to face Falmouth and their pitchers.
Another payoff pitch, fouled straight back. We'll do it again.
I mean, and that's a loaded Falmouth team with Brendan King, Brady Singer, Brady Puckett, and Jeff Passantino, who's been playing a video game all summer with a 0.75 ERA.
That rotation is incredible. If the playoffs weren't so back-to-back-to-back, had more game spread in between, more off days, they might be unbeatable. High fly ball down the left field line, all the way at the fence is Brody looking up, and he sees this ball be caught, actually. So Brody disappeared behind a fence. We couldn't really see him, but in the very corner in left field, he was able to haul it in for out number 2.
You know what? The only thing that matters is he saw the ball, and he was able to make a grab. And, you know, that's one thing that Quinn Brody, who I know that I've gotten on and some other media outlets have gotten on Quinn Brody, with the way that he approaches fly balls. But over this last 6-week period, he's adjusted very well to the wooden bats and is starting to judge the sound of the bat in the way that he's actually going out and fielding these fly balls. He's not, having a bad first step. He's lining them up. He's putting himself in a good position to catch the ball, and he's putting himself in a good position to come up firing in a potential sac fly situation.
Cody Henry digs in and works his way to a 1-1 count. And we saw Brody have a few small issues in the outfield when he first arrived here with Cotuit. But like you said, he's worked on that. He's looked much better in left. No problems in the month of July for him. This off-speed pitch catches the inner half. 1 ball and 2 strikes for Henry, who's 1 for 1 with the single in this ball game. He was stranded on second base in the second inning. Fastball low and inside corner and fouled off.
And Brody was a guy that it just seemed obvious that he was taking his defensive struggles to the plate. And then once he solidified himself out there, he had been hitting a ton, earning himself that all-star bid.
1-2 is a curveball, cut on and missed. Colton Hawk fans Cody Henry, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. We go to the bottom of the 4th at Lowell Park, all tied up 0-0.
In Heating and the Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod as members of the exclusive Kettleers Club in 2016.
Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa. A time you'll always remember, a place you'll never forget. A proud member of the leading hotels of the world.
The Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod is keeping Cape Cod positively different by partnering with community organizations like the Kettleers and the Cape Cod Baseball League. With 9 convenient branches from Falmouth to Harwich and everywhere with mobile banking. Visit mycapecodbank.com to learn more.
Spencer Hallett Plumbing and Heating, a family-owned business, has been providing plumbing and heating services to businesses and homeowners on Cape Cod for over 100 years. It's what you'd call local, as Spencer's a 4th-generation member of the business and 12th-generation Cape Codder.
Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports such as football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. Read about the success of the Curry Colonels and their championship teams. It's all online at curry.edu.
Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is the perfect blend of fun and excitement. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Cotuit has 2, 3, and 4 in the batting order. Due up in the 4th, Jordan Pierce, A.J. Balta, and Marcus Inman to bat here. We have a scoreless ball game after 3.5. Kettleers have only registered 1 hit so far in this contest, but they have the heart of the order with a chance here in the 4th. Still John Gavin on the bump for Hyannis. He winds and delivers the first pitch for Pierce, which is popped up foul down the third base line. Thanks for joining us on a beautiful night for baseball in Cotuit. It was a rainy day here on Cape Cod, but things have brightened up. Some clouds in the sky, but the sun shining down from the third base line. I'm Jason Doro alongside John Perez. Curveball from Gavin misses high and inside. 1-1 count now.
Jordan Pierce has been hot as of late. He spoke after the game the other day saying that he's just, quite frankly, finishing a swing.
Fastball off the plate, 88 miles per hour. Count now 2-1.
And that was just something that he didn't do at Nevada because of the, I guess, low humidity or just the thin air out there the ball carries with the wooden bat, or with the metal bat.
This fastball just barely clips the outer edge. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pierce is 0 for 1 in this contest. Grounded out to second base in the first inning. 2-2 pitch now on the way. This one chopped up the middle of the shortstop. Proctor behind second base. Fields jumped throw to first, and it's in time to beat Pierce for out number 1.
Ford Proctor has just done a nice job with Hyannis this year up the middle. Only 3 errors, and when you have that up the middle defense of a Ford Proctor, Trey Truitt, and even Chris Hudgens, they've had some good catches with Hyannis. It's tough to beat them.
Another lefty versus lefty matchup here with A.J. Balta. He hacks at a high fastball, fouls it straight back for strike 1.
And I know what a listener might be saying, oh, Hyannis is only 17-21 and they're still clinging to the final playoff spot. But, you put any one of these teams in another league and it's an all-star team essentially.
And that curveball goes behind the back of A.J. Balta, and it just barely nicks him on the shoulder. A hit by pitch that will put the Cotuit second baseman on first with one down.
And I know exactly what A.J. Balta's thinking. Thank goodness Chris McAvin is not behind the plate. McAvin, the home plate umpire that blew a call last week against the Kettleers. It was a ball up and into Balta that he thought that Balta fouled off. It actually hit him. Balta showed him the welt. And then McAvin told Cotuit manager Mike Roberts, well, he didn't get out of the way, so it's only a ball. And, of course, that incensed Roberts and so on and so forth as
throw over to first to check on Balta. So there was a double call there. First they called it a foul ball,
yes.
And then they reversed it and said Balta did not get out of the way.
Well, not they, the home plate umpire.
Home plate umpire. Yeah, the umpires did not convene in this situation. Inman swings to the first pitch, lifts it into center. Plenty of time for Truitt to move in and put it away for out number 2. Because Aiden and I were talking about this during the game, and we saw the count go to 1 and 2 on the scoreboard, so we figured it was either a foul ball or they said that Balta had leaned over the strike zone and had caught one on the elbow or somewhere along the forearm. Then we saw the ball be added, and we figured, well, it must be the same call that he never made an effort to get out of the way, but the ball was not in the zone.
There's nothing wrong with somebody just saying, I missed the call. Because the Bourne's manager, Harvey Shapiro, was then incensed saying, well, wait a minute, why is it a ball now, or what's the call? And, of course, Roberts wasn't happy with it either.
First pitch for Tim Susnara, high and outside, ball 1.
And, of course, Shapiro has to do his best acting job and, trying to just sell the umpire, saying, hey, listen, you called it a strike initially, don't change it. But Shapiro saw the whole play. If he would have went down to first base, yeah, maybe Harvey would have said something. But other than that, the call would have been right, and I'm sure Bourne could have lived with it at the end. They ended up living with the result as they won 3-2.
Bourne Braves are sitting pretty now. 2 points up on the Harbor Hawks and 11 points up on Cotuit. Lefty versus lefty matchup here in the bottom of the 4th. John Gavin keeping a close eye on A.J. Balta on first base. No score at Lowell Park. Susnara, who's at the plate, is 1 for 1 in this contest. He was picked off in the second after he singled. 1-0 offering. Fastball poured right over the zone. Called strike 1.
Of course, the Kettleers will head to the House of Horrors, Doran Park, tomorrow.
Cotuit 0-5 against the Bourne Braves this season. They have not fared well against Western Division competition. 1-1 offering. Off the end of the bat and foul. Let's go through that West Division, actually. Cotuit against Hyannis, who they're playing tonight, 2-2 this season. Lost the first couple by scores of 5-4 and 2-1. Then they won the last two, 5-1 and 2-1. A lot of low-scoring games. Not much offense to be found when these two teams meet this season.
And in that 2-1 win for the Kettleers at McKeon Park, the Harbor Hawks were thrown out at the plate 3 times.
And that was during that stretch where Cotuit looked like they might be turning this season around and moving up the Western Division standings. 1-2 pitch, just misses the outer edge.
And it's just funny because that's baseball, Jason. At one moment, the Kettleers were the hottest team in their division. And the question was, well, not if they make the playoffs, but when. And then they have the reality check at Bourne and have only won 1 game since then.
Falmouth had another thing to say about that. Cotuit does not play the Commodores again this season. Their final record against Falmouth this season, 1-5. And the Commodores are currently 25-13. In fact, they have twice as many points as Cotuit right now. Fastball over the plate, chopped down the third base line. In comes Busby. He bare hands, throws to first, sidearm, not in time. Essentially a swinging bunt from Tim Susnara. Turns into an infield single, and Cotuit has 2 men on with 2 down.
Hey, sometimes you're better lucky than good, and I'm sure Sosnara will take it. Just got enough wood on it to deaden it and have Busby have to make a tough play.
With where Busby was playing, deep at third, that was a long run to field and throw to try to get Sosnara.
I always find it interesting when the third baseman plays behind the bag with a left-handed hitter up.
Sosnara has bunted in those situations before. Runner goes on the first pitch. Here's a throw down to third, and they nailed Balta. Balta tried to swipe third base on the first pitch to Ryan Hagan, but Hudgens had a perfect throw to Busby at third base, and Cotuit is done in the fourth. No runs on one hit, no errors, one man left on. After 4 innings at Lowell Park, we have a scoreless ball game. Keep it right here. You're locked in to Kettleers baseball.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is New England's premier oceanfront resort, a proud member of leading hotels of the world.
The Kettleers and Cotuit Athletic Association welcome Spencer Hollett Plumbing and Heating and the Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod as members of the exclusive Kettleers Club in 2016.
Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa, a time you'll always remember, a place you'll never forget. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
The Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod is keeping Cape Cod positively different by partnering with community organizations like the Kettleers and the Cape Cod Baseball League. With 9 convenient branches from Falmouth to Harwich and everywhere with mobile banking. Visit mycapecodbank.com to learn more.
Spencer Hallett Plumbing and Heating, a family-owned business, has been providing plumbing and heating services to businesses and homeowners on Cape Cod for over 100 years. It's what you'd call local, as Spencer is a 4th-generation member of the business and 12th-generation Cape Codder.
Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports such as football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. Read about the success of the Curry Colonels and their championship teams. It's all online at curry.edu.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod. With 2 acute care hospitals visit capecodhealth.org.
Welcome back to Cotuit. No score as we head into the top of the 5th inning. 7, 8, and 9 due up in the Hyannis order. Chris Hudgens is first pitch swinging. Hits a grounder to short. Ryan Hagan is up with it. On to first, and there's one away in the top of the 5th. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jason Doro alongside Matt Rupenthal. Matt, we appreciate you coming up to the booth tonight.
No, as always, I appreciate you guys having me.
So how was the 50-50 going tonight?
Oh, the 50-50. We had 3 separate people buy $20 worth of tickets, and if you're not familiar with how the tickets work here at Lowell Park, you get $10. You get 60 tickets for $10, 5 for $20. So I, was ripping tickets for those couple people that bought the $20 worth for about 10 minutes apiece. So
we might be looking at a season high pot. Is that what you're telling me?
There's a definite possibility. I mean, I was out of my tickets in about 15 minutes, so 10 to 15 minutes tops.
And it looks like Jason Billis was working with you tonight. I think that's his first time, or do you kind of put him through the ringer?
The first timers, they don't really know what they're doing yet, unfortunately. That's why he's still out there selling. But,
Cameron.
No worries. He's still out there selling. And, there's a fine line between being too aggressive with the ticket sales and being able to find the people that are thinking about it, and then you just kind of go from there.
That was Cameron Este, who grounded out to second, 2 away now in the 5th. Getting to baseball a little bit more, we saw you on July 22nd pitching against Orleans, a 6-4 win for Cotuit. You went 5 1/3 and didn't give up a run. In fact, only 1 hit against you. How did that outing feel?
Oh, that outing felt really, really good. was able to throw 3 pitches for strikes pretty much the entire game, and was able to induce quiet contact, or nothing was hit too hard, and my defense played very, very well behind me, and I was able to make some good pitches when I needed to.
Swing and a miss from Trey Truitt, the count 0-2. On top of that performance, looking back at the about month and a half you've been here and what you've been able to learn from this coaching staff, what's your primary takeaway at the end of the summer?
I as I talked about up here before, coming out of the bullpen, 100% of the time this past year at Vandy, and really only using 2 pitches, fastball, curveball. I threw a lot of changeups my last outing, and I aspire to be a starting pitcher next year. So it's certainly something I'm going to need to be able to take over, carry over from Lowell Park into Hawkins Field next fall, as I'm trying to win a spot next fall to pitch in the spring, and obviously wherever the coaching staff sees the best fit for me to help the team, whether it be starting or coming out of the bullpen again. But I think that the third pitch of the changeup can only help me in any situation.
Was that changeup something that primarily Mike Roberts worked with you, or was it the whole pitching staff?
Yeah, I think one guy that definitely goes unnoticed a little bit is our pitching coach, Matt Kinney, and I had the pleasure of watching Kinney pitch at Belmont for a couple innings against Vandy my freshman year, and the guy was completely lights out. Nobody could hit Matt Kinney at all. So he's got a wealth of knowledge up there, and it's been a pleasure to be able to chat with him throughout the summer, and learn from him as well.
It was a quick half inning offensively for Hyannis after Trey Truitt struck out. Harbor Hawks went down 1-2-3. Another quick question for you, Matt, that we've kind of been asking some of the guys in the latter portion of this season is, we have this thing called the Cotuit replay that we do every night, and it's a former Kettleer talking about some of their best experiences or one moment that stuck out from the summer. With about a week left here on Cape Cod, maybe a little bit more if you guys are able to make a charge into the playoffs, what right now would be your Cotuit replay?
That might be something that might kind of dawn on me, so to speak, in a month or so. But I was really thinking just yesterday's game or 2 days ago's game at Orleans, walking into that park and seeing all the lawn chairs, all the towels sitting on the hill, and then once that first inning came around, I mean, that place was absolutely packed. One of the being so fortunate to play in the SEC, I've seen some pretty cool college baseball atmospheres, but that site was right up there with the LSU and the Texas A&M. It was a absolutely electric atmosphere, and something I'll sure not forget.
We had a really quick half there. You mind sticking around for another half frame,
absolutely.
bottom of the inning? Awesome.
Absolutely.
Ryan Hagen's digging in for Cotuit, and he has a 2-0 count. Eldridge Park is definitely unique. The other night they had almost 2,100 in attendance as Hagen lines one out to left. That'll drop in front of Rogers for a base knock to lead off the frame. Yeah, 2,100, and even when we arrived there 2 hours before the game, all those blankets and chairs are all laid out. We've asked a lot of the guys as well about their favorite ballparks on Cape Cod, outside Lowell Park, which is always at the top of the list for the Kettleers. What else is on there for you? Eldridge Park?
Yeah, I mean, Orleans was just a phenomenal atmosphere, like I said. But I think the top 3, in my opinion, would be Lowell Park, Cotuit's Field, and then it would be also Eldridge, Orleans, and then you can't go wrong with Chatham either. I mean, that was the last time we played there. That outfield hill was pretty packed, and their seating kind of goes around. Their grandstand goes all the way around the infield for the most part. It's very, very nice atmosphere.
Veterans Field also the host site for the Cape Cod Baseball League All-Star Game this summer. Were you able to get out there and see Eddie Mole and
I was unfortunately not able to get out there that day, but I heard it was just talking to Eddie after the fact. He said there were how many? Did you hear how many people were there? I heard
I didn't have a number, but the place was filled to the brim.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he told me there was like 6,000 people there, so it was a very high number for sure.
That sounds right. It was a mess during the home run hitting contest too in right field with like you mentioned, the berm that everyone can sit on, and even onto Depot Street behind the right field fence. Kids running around, tons of havoc as some of the Cape League's best hitters just sent a bunch of bombs up there. Genesta has worked it to a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Nobody down here in the 5th, and Ryan Hagan on first base after a leadoff single. What other opportunities have you had here during the summer during Cape Cod? A lot of the guys got up to Fenway for a ball game, have explored other things on the Cape. Are there experiences or off-day things that you've done that you won't forget anytime soon?
You know, I had the opportunity when my mom and my dad were here. I got to actually went fishing with both of them. My dad took me out fishing, just a charter for striped bass. We did pretty well. Caught probably 6 or 7 of them early in the morning, and then you know, I think I've been able to get around pretty much most of the Cape on the off days. There really isn't a you know, a town that I don't think I've been to. Really the only place I think is Martha's Vineyard. I've been to Nantucket, which was very, very nice, and I haven't, you know, been up any further, I guess, than Orleans, but you know, in this kind of more closer area to where we're at, I think I've pretty much hit all the stops.
Lefty versus lefty matchup, 2-2 count for Genesta. And he'll have to wait a moment as Gavin checks on Hagan at first. Now, with these last 5 games left in the season, how is Mike Roberts and the coaching staff approaching those games? What's the team's mentality like for the final stretch here?
You know, I think I can speak for everybody in that dugout down there that we're just, you know, worrying about the things that I might. Oh no, didn't hit as hard as I thought he would. But I think that we're just focusing on the things that we can control and just gonna, you know, play as hard as we possibly can these last couple games, and you know, hopefully something good can happen. And you know, it's just been tough for the most part. You know, it seems like this summer we've just had. I would like to know the actual stat on how many one-run games that we've lost, but you know, we've just been so close, and you know, even if we won, say, half of the one-run games that we've lost, I think it would be a much different story for the Cotuit Kettleers this summer.
I meant to pull up that stat actually before this game, especially after how the last 3 contests have gone for the Kettleers. Klein digs in and fouls one off after Genesta hit a deep shot to right that was corralled by the right fielder Netzer. I didn't get around to it before this contest, but maybe during the next half-inning break we can look up that one-run record, because Orleans was a tough one in 11 frames. The Bourne game on Tuesday came down to the wire, and even the game Sunday at Wareham, the Gatemen barely prevailed over the Kettleers. Klein is 0 for 1 as he digs in, grounded out to second. Ryan Hagan on first base with a decent lead. What are you personally looking forward to in closing out this year and perhaps your final appearance on the mound when it comes?
Yeah, I'm slated to pitch tomorrow, so you know, more than anything, I'm just looking forward to kind of carrying over, you know, you know, I guess carry over the way I pitched my last outing and just kind of build off it. And you know, I think it's fair to say that my last I guess three or four starts, every single one has kind of gotten better and better as the summer's gone on. So hopefully I can just keep that upward progression going tomorrow. Put the team in the best chance to win.
Gavin's 0-2 drilled into center by Klein. Here comes a throwback to first after Truitt catches it. He airmails it past the first baseman Henry, so Hagan gets back in time. Now there's 2 away. One of the themes that we've got to especially with the pitching staff, is finding out one who has the best sense of humor, either in the bullpen or on the team, or who's the biggest jokester, and then who has the best hair. Can we get your takes on those 2?
Well, the first 2 that come to mind for both those questions, I think, have just they're both unfortunately not up here anymore. The biggest jokester, in my opinion, has to go to Padgett, to Jared Padgett from Mississippi State, left-hander. I think he's been gone for about 2 weeks now. And then the best hair, I feel like everyone's looking for like some long hair to nominate as the best hair. And you know, as you know, Justin Hooper just recently had to go home for because school's starting back up for him. But those would be my two nominations for those for both of those.
Paget was definitely a jokester one. Keith Regala was adamant that he would have had best hair out of everyone. Justin Hooper was his honorable mention, I believe. Stevenson dumps one into left, so we now have 2 men on, a pair of hits in the inning for the Kettleers. They turn the lineup over for Quinn Brody. Now, how much time when this season ends do you have before it's back into fall ball and getting back into baseball shape with the college team? We were talking to Grayson Genista the other day, and he said, well, we don't really have a break. We go right back into conditioning and getting ready.
Yeah, I mean, I think I just found out today. I think my classes start August 24th, and so I'm not exactly sure what day I'll actually end up going. Driving back down to Nashville, but it's a very quick turnaround. I mean, the first day of conditioning, that might score 2.
Brody gets a hold of one into the right center field gap, and it's down. Hagen is around from third. He has scored. They'll send Stevenson 2, and he's up easy. And you're right, Matt. 2 runs come home on the double from Quinn Brody. Cotuit jumps out to a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the 5th. The first run's on the board of the evening. With that time that you'll have, what do you plan on doing? What's your routine when you get away from the game for a little bit?
I definitely, whenever I go home, when I go home, whenever that is, I certainly plan on giving the arm, a few weeks break. I plan on playing a lot of golf when I go home, and just kind of, I guess, getting my body back in check for the first day of conditioning when I get back to school. I mean, I'm sure it'll probably be. It's probably a few days after the first day we all get back, so it's coming fast.
What's the golf game like for Matt Rupenthal? Is it long off the tee, or are you really earning your money on the green?
I actually played yesterday. I drove the ball pretty well for. It was probably the most consistent I've been off the box in quite some time. I was hitting the ball pretty well off the tee box, and then I actually was putting pretty well for the first time in a while. So I just had an overall phenomenal day yesterday. I was pretty happy with myself. So great off day, well spent.
2-1 count for Jordan Pierce. Gavin kicks and steps off. Are you able to get any of these guys out on the links? We've heard a lot about Super Smash Bros. And ping pong, all kinds of interesting activities, even some mini golf. But I feel like not too many of them had said they're out playing 18.
Yeah, I definitely think it's more of a pitcher's thing to golf when you have time, just based off position guys don't want to risk messing their swing up. But yesterday I actually played with my host dad, Charlie. So I played with him a couple times now this summer, and then when my parents were up, I got to play with them. So I've only played 3 times, but it's been. I've gotten to play some pretty nice public courses on the Cape. I played in Brewster yesterday. I can't remember what the name of the place was. That's fallen. That's a run.
2-2 looped into center off the end of the bat of Pierce, and this will be an RBI single. Quinn Brody crosses. 3-0 Cotuit in the 5th. And perhaps we found a new good luck charm, and Matt Rupenthal is calling out all the base knocks here. Justin Hooper kind of claimed that honor early in the season because the Kettleers were 3-0 in Justin Hooper's first 3 appearances to the broadcast booth.
Oh, wow.
And now it looks like Hyannis might need a little mound visit in the top of the 5th. 3-0 Cotuit. They've had 3 hits in the frame. Singles from Ryan Hagen and Cal Stevenson before a double from Quinn Brody. Make it 4 hits with a base knock from Jordan Pierce. 3-0 Cotuit, and Hyannis will make a pitching change. So we'll take a quick break. First, thanks so much, Matt. We appreciate you coming on.
Yep, thank you for having me.
We'll take a break. 3-0 Cotuit in the bottom of the 5th at Lowell Park.
The Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod is keeping Cape Cod positively different by partnering with community organizations like the Kettleers and the Cape Cod Baseball League. With 9 convenient branches from Falmouth to Harwich and everywhere with mobile banking. Visit mycapecodbank.com to learn more.
The Kettleers and Cotuit Athletic Association welcome Spencer Hollett Plumbing and Heating and the Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod as members of the exclusive Kettleers Club in 2016.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org.
The Beach House Grill at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is the perfect spot for a seaside lunch or evening clam bake. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Cape Cod Healthcare. Expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care. Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod Healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgent care.
Do you know what that sound is? That's your new digital marketing department. And that'll be your new web designer. And that's Haibu, where these experts are joined by many more, from web designers to search marketing specialists, who work hard to get your business noticed online and on mobile. Best of all, Haibu can do it all for you, or give you the tools to do it yourself. To find out more, go to haibu.com. That's HIBU.com. Or call 855-464-HIBU. Oh, that'll be your next new customer. Haibu, made for business.
Still in the bottom of the 5th here at Lowell Park. Dropping down a bunt is A.J. Balta. This will trickle foul, though, for strike 1. Cotuit has already added 3 runs in this frame. Hagen, Stevenson, Brody all scoring to give the Kettleers a 3-0 edge in the bottom of the 5th. That forced Hyannis to make a pitching change, bringing in lefty Dominic Labruto to face Balta with Pierce on first base. Thanks for joining us this evening. I'm Jason Doro, alongside a new member of the Kettleers pitching staff, Jason Billis. Thanks for joining us tonight.
No problem.
Now, Jason, you got here a little bit later in the season. What was it like kind of adjusting when Cotuit was already halfway done with 2016?
Well, you know, it was kind of hard to get everybody's names and just fit in right away, but honestly, these guys are great, and I fit right in with all of them, and I can call most of them my friends now.
Your last appearance as well was really solid. July 26th, you went against Bourne, went 4 innings, scoreless and almost hitless ball, just 2 hits from the Braves in those 4 innings of work. How'd you feel in that start, and what adjustments did you make from your first couple appearances?
Right, so my first couple, they were a little shaky. Wasn't nerves or anything. I was in a little slump with my mechanics, and coming out of the World Series, I was obviously a little tired. It was a long season, so coming here, I just had to take a week break before I got here, and I lost a little bit of feel for pitching mechanics, but the last 2 weeks plus bullpens, and I've fixed a lot of my mechanics, and now I'm pitching instead of just throwing.
You mentioned the run that you made at Coastal Carolina all the way to the College World Series. What was that like, playing baseball? I mean, that season starts in February and you're finishing in mid-June. Can you run us through what's going through your guys' minds when you're in May, you're in June, and trying to progress all the way to the College World Series?
Yeah, it's definitely a long season if you make it all the way. You just got to take it game by game. That's about the only thing you can do. If you look into the future, look how many games you have left or how many wins and losses you have, you just get caught up in it, and it'll get in your head. You just got to take it game by game.
After that long process, finally winning that College World Series, what was the moment like?
Oh, I have no words to describe it right now. It's something I'm going to look back on in a couple years and still be in shock about it. Yeah, I honestly, not many of us expected to make it that far and actually pull out the win, but as the season progressed and we kept winning big games and big situations, we definitely started believing. And once we swept LSU in the Supers, we knew right there that we were going to make it pretty far in the College World Series.
Brett Netzer leading off here for Hyannis in the top of the sixth. They trail 3-0 at Lowell Park against Cotuit. You said after winning that World Series, you took a week off before coming here. I'm sure, like you said, there was some rejuvenation there, some time off, resting the arm, but there must have been some fun had, too, there. Were former Chanticleers reaching out to you? Were you hearing from friends? What was that period like?
Oh, yeah, I definitely caught up with a bunch of my old high school buddies back in Delaware, and I'm still getting text messages about winning the World Series from my friends and guys on the team that left. All of us are still in contact. We actually have a group message for the whole team, and we still talk to each other all the time in that.
Is there any kind of friendly competition in the clubhouse? Do you ever remind the guys, especially, say, the Arizona players, what happened, what went down in June?
Oh yeah, There's always a little back and forth action there. All in good fun though. Arizona was a great team, and they were very respectable. So a good group of guys. So it was fun to play them, and
Have you seen the team chemistry here in Cotuit kind of evolve as the season has rolled along? Your first appearance was July 9th, so you've been here about 3 weeks at this point. Has that chemistry built, especially during that portion of the season when the team was really thriving in mid-July?
Yeah. I got here, and these guys have obviously been together much longer than I have with them. So when I got here, these guys, I can actually call these guys my friends, and I have all their information. I'm gonna stick with them once I leave here, and hopefully I'll see them next year, or hopefully one day in pro ball.
Nets are grounded out to second for out number one, and it's forward Proctor digging in. He now has an 0-2 count after Hawk nails a fastball in at the knees. You've had a much shorter period of time to explore the Cape and take in all these guys, all the stuff that these guys said they've done during their off days between Fenway Park, fishing, golfing. What's your go-to been when you have some off time here on the Cape?
Yeah, I would have to say golfing. I haven't gotten that much off time since coming here so late, but I have gotten a round or two in of golf, and maybe an occasional day at the beach, but that's about it.
Rupenthal kind of said that his golf game, everything was on the other day. He's hitting the ball long off the tee, he's putting it well. He didn't give me a score, but it sounded like he was shooting in the 70s.
Right.
What's your golf game like? Where is your forte on the links?
Oh, well, it's not very good at all anywhere. I just try and keep it straight, hit the ball straight, and hopefully it'll stay on the green and not hit too many trees on the way.
Did you take part in the team mini golf excursion? Justin Hooper said that his game was off when you guys went out to Pirates Cove.
Unfortunately, I was not here yet, but I definitely would have taken part in that. I do love mini golf.
So many courses. It seems like you can't go anywhere without seeing one on Cape Cod.
Yeah,
Proctor struck out there, couldn't hold up. So 2 down for Zach Rutherford. You got another week left here. Is there anything that you really want to get done before you have to say goodbye?
I would just say maybe go out to a nice dinner with my host family. They've done so much for me already, so one final hurrah with them until next year, of course. But yeah, just to sit down and talk with them one last time and a nice dinner.
Hawk fields the tapper in front of home, throws over to first, and that's it for Hyannis in the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left. Well, thanks so much, Jason. We appreciate the time up here in the booth.
Thank you.
We'll take a break. Going to the bottom of the 6th at Lowell Park, Cotuit on top, 3-0.
Visit Stars Restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa for a world-class dining experience, a proud member of leading hotels of the world.
If you're looking for quality plumbing and heating work, call Spencer Hallett at 508-428-6080 or visit their website at hallettplumbing.com.
Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports such as football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. Read about the success of the Curry Colonels and their championship teams. It's all online at curry.edu.
What's donated here stays here. All blood that is donated to Cape Cod Healthcare stays on Cape Cod to help the lives of your friends, family, and neighbors. Learn more about donating blood, platelets, or hosting a blood drive at capecodhealth.org/blood center.
The Sacred Cod Tavern at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is a quintessential New England dining experience for lunch or dinner. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Spencer.
Bottom of the 6th at Lowell Park, 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Kettleers. Marcus Inman, the newly acquired designated hitter, digs in to start off the frame. He's 0 for 2 with a ground out to short and a fly out to center. I'm Jason Doro alongside John Perez back on headset. Inman facing Dominic Labruto. First pitch fastball on the outer edge called for a strike. This is just Labruto's second appearance of the summer with Hyannis. Here's his 0-1. Fastball off the plate. His first appearance was July 26th against Falmouth. He didn't get an out in that appearance. He gave up 3 runs, only one of them earned, on no hits, 3 walks. He faced 3 guys. Inman pokes one foul, the count now 1-2.
How about that for a welcome to the Cape, kid?
It's not exactly how you like to start your season. You also don't usually expect to start your season July 26th. 1-2, a backdoor breaking ball, called strike 3, and Inman's retired.
You know, and not just that too. When players come over, you know, this isn't exactly like the big leagues where somebody will be playing somewhere else and then is thrown into a pennant race. A lot of these players aren't used to that. They're used to being with the team from day one. And that's something, and as you spoke to both Rupenthal and Bill, is something that they also had to deal with too, because they played in the regionals and College World Series.
The farther you make it into the college season, the later you show up with your summer league team. And the Cape League actually starts later than a lot of the other summer leagues, so you have some extra time to get out here. Curveball misses low and inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
But then, of course, like the old saying is, when one door closes, another door opens. You know, a lot of closed doors on those signed players. It's that first month where the temp players make their mainstay.
The 1-1 hit deep to right field by Susnara. Back at the fence is Netzer. And this ball is foul. Oh, so close to the right field pole. Susnara pulled it just a hair too much.
You know, in the way that he had been swinging the bat the past couple of weeks, it might not have shown up in the stat sheet, even though he's hitting significantly better statistically. He's just a lot more level with his swing, and it was only a matter of time before he got a hold of one, and it looked as if for a split second that was going to be it. But, you know, a guy that only hit 2 home runs at Oregon, but certainly has a lot more power, a gap-to-gap guy. It wouldn't surprise me if you see Sosnara.
He's been on fire today, 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. Now he swings over a breaking ball, and Sosnara is retired via the strikeout for out number 2. So instead of 3 walks to start off this appearance for Dominic Labruto, he's retired 3 in a row, including a couple of Ks.
And that's baseball, Jason. You come to the ballpark and you never know what you're going to see. And, of course, there's always tomorrow. And for Labruto, this is his tomorrow.
2 down, bases empty. Cotuit leading 3-0 in the bottom of the 6th. And Ryan Hagan digs in. Chopper towards short. In comes Proctor. Fields on a short hop. A jump throw over to first. Hagan is set down. And Cotuit has a quick inning at the plate in the 6th. They go down 1-2-3. And the score stays 3-0 going to the 7th at Lowell Park.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and mobile application development, online at curry.edu.
The Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod is keeping Cape Cod positively different by partnering with community organizations like the Kettleers and the Cape Cod Baseball League. With 9 convenient branches from Falmouth to Harwich and everywhere with mobile banking. Visit mycapecodbank.com to learn more.
The Kettleers and Cotuit Athletic Association welcome Spencer Hollett Plumbing and Heating and the Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod as members of the exclusive Kettleers Club in 2016.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org.
The Beach House Grill at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is the perfect spot for a seaside lunch or evening clam bake. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
3-0 Cotuit going into the 7th at Lowell Park. And for the first time tonight, Mike Roberts will make a pitching change, and up here in the booth, we'll make a broadcaster change. I'll send it over to John Perez for the final 3 frames.
Thank you very much, Jason. Josh Robertson comes in for Colton Hawk, who threw 6 scoreless innings, allowing only 3 hits. He walked 1 and struck out 6 Harbor Hawks. Robertson, a sophomore from North Carolina, Wilmington. Last pitched on July 24th at Wareham. The Gatemen won that game 6-5. Robertson in that appearance, 2 2/3 scoreless, 2 hits, a walk, and 3 strikeouts to the 10 batters that he faced, and Hawk throwing 79 pitches. For Hyannis, 4, 5, 6 due up in the order. Jordan Rogers will come to the plate. 2 groundouts in his only appearances. Right-handed batter against the righty Josh Robertson. Kettleers jumping out to a 3-0 lead. All in the 5th inning. Hits from Ryan Hagan and Cal Stevenson set the table for Quinn Brody. He hit a 2 RBI double. First pitch from Robertson is a ball, 1-0. Jordan Pierce then followed that up with an RBI single, and that's where we're at. Outfield straight away, as is the infield. The 1-0 pitch, fastball low, 2-0. The issue for Robertson has been throwing strikes. He's issued 12 walks and 20 1/3 innings of work. All in 11 appearances. 2-0 pitch, low again, 3-0, a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. The shadows are starting to creep in. The left side of the infield, a lot darker than the right side of the infield. 3-0 coming to Rogers, and the fastball right down Broadway, 3-1. Rogers headed into his senior year at Tennessee. 3-1 on the way. Fastball hit in the air out to right center. Ranging over is the center fielder Klein. He'll line it up and haul it in for the first out.
Before I start talking about Josh Robertson, how about Colton Hawk tonight? Cotuit really needed a quality start this evening. They really did. Obviously, we talked about every game from here on out as a must-win. But so many times this season, we've seen Cotuit starters go somewhere between 3 innings to 4 innings and change. Hawk labors for 6 frames. He gives up just 3 hits, keeps Hyannis off the board, only issues 1 walk, and strikes out 6. He was phenomenal.
Craig Habercorn is now the pinch hitter for Dylan Busby, and he watches the fastball right down the middle for a strike, 0-1.
And what's so impressive about Colton Hawk is even when he finds himself in a jam, he seems unflustered. 2 men on in the second. He dug back in, got himself out of the frame.
The 0-1 pitch bounces in the dirt and then hits Habercorn. He'll shake it off and scamper down to first base. And the Harbor Hawks have a runner on with 1 out, and that'll bring up Cody Henry.
And who knows if Cotuit will see Colton Hawk again this season. We might have to chat with Mike Roberts. 5 days until the last game of the regular season.
Runner on first and 1 out. And the first pitch to the lefty Henry is low, ball 1. This was a Cotuit team that was not sure who its ace was. And then Colton Hawk just took that role by stranglehold. 1-0 pitch. And a fastball low again, 2-0, and Cisnara will come out along with the third baseman, Jordan Pierce.
There were other names that definitely found themselves as footprints in that starting rotation. They knew they were part of it between Justin Hooper, Matt Rupenthal. I think those are guys that can call themselves part of that order. But Colton Hawk, it always felt like was the number 1, the guy that Mike Roberts wanted out there in, say, a must-win situation.
And, of course, those are all 3 guys that were relievers for their individual collegiate teams. But Hawk had the most experience going deep into games. We'll get to that in a second. The 2-0 pitch low again, and Robertson's fallen behind 3-0. Colton Hawk would come on in the 4th or 5th inning of games at Stanford and then deliver the 18-out save, the 15-out save. Just your routine 15-out save. 3-0 pitch, right down Broadway for a strike, 3-1. So it wasn't a matter of stretching out Hawk. It was just a matter of him getting into his routine on the mound. Runner on first and 1 out. The 3-1 to Henry. Slash foul over the Kettleers dugout on the third base side, out of play. Henry is single in the second, a strikeout in the 4th. One of the 6 strikeouts issued by the Stanford righty. Robertson, the high set. Outfield, infield, straight up. 3-2 pitch. That's laced into right field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Coming on is Stevenson, making the turn and heading to third base is Habercorn. The throw goes into third, and it's not in time. And the Harbor Hawks have runners on first and third with 1 out against Robertson.
Still a good pitch from Josh Robertson. Inner half. Looked like he almost jammed Cody Henry, who did not hit that ball like a line drive at all. It's more of a jam shot into right. In the end, it still pays off, but Josh Robertson still looks pretty good here in his first 3 hitters.
And now it'll be interesting to see the rope that Roberts extends to Robertson. Robertson, a guy a couple of weeks ago that was looked upon as the closer for this Kettleers team, a team that was still trying to find its late inning situation. The first pitch to the right-hander, Chris Hudgens, is low, 1-0. Robertson's had no problem dialing it up. That last pitch at 93 miles an hour. Runners on the corners and 1 out. Robertson, the low set, kicks and delivers. And another fastball low, backhanded by the catcher Cisnara, and it keeps everyone at bay, 2-0. Hudgens headed into his sophomore year at Cal State Fullerton, and now Cotuit manager Mike Roberts is going to come out and have a conference call with his catcher and his pitcher.
And this seems like a situation where you're not necessarily making a call to the pen. It's just going out there trying to calm down Robertson after he kind of loses one pitch against Busby and nails him. Henry comes away with the single on a good pitch on the inner half. All of a sudden you're in a tough situation with men on the corners and just one down, and you don't want the situation to become too much when you're only up by 3 runs.
And we've seen this from the Kettleers in the past, specifically the Bourne game the last time that they were here at Lowell Park. Had a 2-0 lead, headed into the 8th inning, gave up 3 runs. A lot have come from behind victories by Cotuit's opponents this year. Of course, 12 one-run games as well.
Go to the Wareham game, too, on Sunday. Gateman scored 1 run in the 8th to go up 6-5, and they closed it out in the 9th.
And that coming after a 4-run 5th inning, after the Kettleers spotted their pitching staff a 5-1 lead. So we're all set to go. Roberts back to the dugout. Runners on the corners, and a 2-0 coming to Hudgens. Robertson kicks and delivers. Fastball grounded in the hole into right field for a base hit. Touching up and scoring is Busby. Headed to second is Cody Henry, and standing at first base with a 1-out RBI single is Chris Hudgens, and it's a 3-1 game.
That's just a nice piece of hitting by Hudgens, too. Sure, he didn't crush the baseball, but like Cody Henry, got just enough wood on it, poked it to the right side, going with that outer half pitch.
Cameron Este, the lefty from Baylor, steps to the plate. First pitch swinging, and foul tips that into the glove of Sosnara. 0-1. Cameron Este headed to his senior year at Baylor. Winner of the home run hitting contest. He hammered 7 Jackson in the first round and then beat out Chatham's Patrick Mathis 4-3. 0-1 is fouled back to the screen, 0-2. And it was a good home run hitting contest because Mathis had himself a good first round. He blasted 8 balls over the wall. And it was an interesting choice that Este was chosen to participate in the Derby at all. 0-2 coming low at a fastball 93 miles an hour, 1-2. Because Este doesn't exactly have eye-popping numbers. He only hit 3 home runs at Baylor this year, 1 this season. He's behind 1-2, runners on first and second, and a 3-1 Kettleers lead. The 1-2 floated foul to the bleachers in left. Este hitting .221 on the year, a strikeout in the second, and a ground out to the second baseman in the 5th. 1-2 coming, fastball outside, 2-2.
So I was talking to Matt Rupenthal earlier this ballgame when he came up in the 5th, and we got on the subject of one-run ball games. I meant to do this before the game, looking up the Kettleers' record in those one-run contests. 2-12.
2-2 pitch, line drive, base hit, left center field. Having to stop and waiting to see the ball go into the outfield is Henry, so he'll only go to third base. Hudgens goes into second, and standing at first base is Cameron Este. And the Harbor Hawks have loaded him up, and Cotuit manager Mike Roberts has seen enough. He'll go to the bullpen. So Josh Robertson, after getting Jordan Rogers to fly out to lead off the inning, hit Treg Habercorn, who was the pinch hitter, then gave up 3 consecutive singles. He'll bring in Jacob Erickson to try and get out of this jam. Cotuit with a 3-1 lead. We'll be back right after this. Cape Cod Healthcare. Expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care. Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod Healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgent care.
Do you know what that sound is? That's your new digital marketing department. And that'll be your new web designer. And that's Haibu, where these experts are joined by many more, from web designers to search marketing specialists who work hard to get your business noticed online and on mobile. Best of all, Haibu can do it all for you, or give you the tools to do it yourself. To find out more, go to haibu.com. That's HIBU.com, or call 855-464-HIBU. Oh, that'll be your next new customer. Haibu, made for business.
Visit Stars Restaurant at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa for a world-class dining experience, a proud member of leading hotels of the world.
If you're looking for quality plumbing and heating work, call Spencer Hallett at 508-428-6080 or visit their website at hallettplumbing.com.
Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports such as football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. Read about the success of the Curry Colonels and their championship teams. It's all online at curry.edu. Bottom of the seventh, Cotuit holding on to a 3-1 lead. Jacob Erickson now comes in with the bases loaded after Josh Robertson got Jordan Rogers to fly out to lead off the seventh. He then hit Trey Habercorn and gave up back-to-back-to-back singles to load the bases. And here is Erickson out of San Diego State. Left-handed pitcher. And he'll face Trey Truitt, the righty. Henry on third, Hudgens on second, and Este at first. And the first pitch is a breaking ball in there for a strike, 0-1. Truitt grounded out in the second, struck out in the fifth. Outfield straight away as the Shadows have now taken over the diamond. The 1-1 pitch, change up, swung on and missed, 0-2. And Erickson is a guy that has been relying on his breaking stuff, and quite frankly just calls himself a junk pitcher. He's not going to light up the radar gun, tops out around 85 miles an hour. Stares in at the sign from Cisnara. 0-2, the kick and deliver. Fastball high at 82 miles an hour, 1-2. Corners are up on the infield. 1-2 pitch, hit in the air down the right field line, and that's going to reach the seats. It'll keep it at 1-2. The second baseman, A.J. Balta, playing pretty much straight up to the second base bag, about 5 feet to the right of it from our vantage point. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed. He got him with the changeup, a 73-mile-an-hour changeup. And that will retire Truitt for the second out.
What a strikeout for Erickson. He comes in with the bases loaded, one down, a situation where a double play, you'll definitely take it, but that's not easy to ask for. The strikeout, you can go ahead and get yourself, and he did it.
Brad Netzer from North Carolina Charlotte comes to the dish. 0-2 with a walk. And the first pitch is swung on and fouled back to the screen, a fastball, 0-1. Erickson checking in at the sign. Kettleers holding on to a 3-1 lead, top half of the seventh. The 0-1 pitch bounced on the ground to first. The first baseman, Genista, has it. Now it's a race to the bag. He'll take it himself in time. Boy, that was a lot closer than it had to be. The pitcher, Erickson, was covering, and then Genista was screaming at him to get out of the way, and Erickson gets out of the jam. So 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and 3 left on base. We've played. It's time to stretch here in Cotuit. The Kettleers lead 3-1.
Summer baseball's underway. People get ready for a brand new day. So grab your hat and grab your glove. We gotta cheer for the team we love. The ball's racing down the line. Come on, coach, give them a sign. The runner's waiting, he's ready to steal. The Kettleers are gonna seal the deal. Hey, Cotuit, hey, hey, Cotuit. We all know that the boys can do it. Hey, Cotuit, hey, hey, Cotuit. We all know that the boys can do it. Playing baseball the Cape Cod way. Kettleers are gonna win today. So dock your skiff and take a walk past the coop. It's 5 o'clock. Head on down to Lowell Park. We'll keep on playing till it gets dark. But first we've got a game to win. Give that pitch plenty of spin. Let's go, boys, let's get it done. We want to see a Cotuit home run. Hey, Cotuit, hey, hey, Cotuit. We all know that the boys can do it. Hey, Cotuit, hey, hey, Cotuit. We all know that the boys can do it. Playing baseball the Cape Cod way. Kettleers are gonna win today.
Bottom of the 7th inning, Grayson Genista will lead it off for the Kettleers. Cotuit leading Hyannis 3-1. 7, 8, 9 due up for Cotuit. Against the new pitcher, Coley Bowers from South Carolina, a right-hander. Righty-lefty matchup, and the first pitch is a fastball that paints the outside edge for a strike, 0-1. Bowers, no wins, no losses, an 8.52 ERA in 5 games this summer. 0-1, line down to first. A nice diving stop by the first baseman, Henry. He'll take it to the bag himself to retire Genista for the first out. Henry diving towards the second baseman, Rutherford. Picked it about eye level. Collected himself, and then scampered on to first to retire Genista. Jack Klein now comes to the plate.
That should have been a lot more difficult than it was. Henry laying out almost full extension at first base and then showing off some good hustle to get up and get to the bag.
So Klein at the dish, 0 for 2 on the day. And he swings and misses at a first pitch breaking ball, 0-1. So that will do it for Dominic Labruto. 1 1/3, no hits, no runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. The 0-1, tap back to the mound. Bowers is up with it. He'll flip it on to first base to retire Klein for the second out. Couple of defensive changes for the Hyannis Harbor Hawks as well. Treg Habercorn stays in the game at left field, and the left fielder Jordan Rogers moves to third base for Dylan Busby. Remember, Habercorn came on to pinch hit for Busby. So here's Cal Stevenson. Singled his last time up and then came around to score on the 2 RBI single from Quinn Brody, and he watches a breaking ball low, ball 1. Stevenson headed to Arizona next year, along with teammate Corey Voss. First-time Wildcats. 1-0 in there for a strike, 1-1. We've seen a lot of Wildcats represented here on the Cape this summer, between Voss and Stevenson. Rio Gomez, who was on the team last year, 1-1. hit in the air, foul down the left field line, 1-2. J.J. Matajevic from Falmouth is in the heart of the Wildcats order. That's another guy that just has been raking on the Cape. 1-2 pitch. Check swing. Stevenson goes around. Bowers gets him with the backdoor curveball. And down go the Kettleers, 1-2-3. So we've played 7 full. It's the Kettleers 3, the Hyannis Harborhawks 1. You're listening to Kettleers Baseball on the Kettleers Radio Network. The Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod is keeping Cape Cod positively different by partnering with community organizations like the Kettleers and the Cape Cod Baseball League. With 9 convenient branches from Falmouth to Harwich and everywhere with mobile banking. Visit mycapecodbank.com to learn more.
The Kettleers and Cotuit Athletic Association welcome Spencer Hollett Plumbing and Heating and the Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod as members of the exclusive Kettleers Club in 2016.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org.
The Beach House Grill at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is the perfect spot for a seaside lunch or evening clam bake. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree.
One run on 3 hits, no errors for the Hyannis Harborhawks. 3 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for the Cotuit Kettleers. Jacob Erickson in his 2nd inning of work after walking the tightrope when he was brought in a dangerous situation. 1 out and the bases loaded was the inheritance that Erickson had to deal with. He struck out Trey Truitt and got Brad Netzer to ground out to end the threat and keep the Harborhawks at bay. Top of the order for Hyannis, Brad Netzer steps in, left-handed batter, and he watches a fastball on the outer edge for a strike, 0-1. Netzer, a strikeout, a walk, and a couple of ground outs in 4 plate appearances. The 0-1. Fastball upstairs, 1-1. Netzer from UNC Charlotte, as Erickson has the high set. And the 1-1 is tapped foul off the foot of Netzer, and Erickson's ahead 1-2.
A lot of low-hanging clouds now in Cotuit. A gray sky, looks kind of ominous, but the forecast for this evening still looks good on weather.com.
Erickson ahead 1-2. The pitch breaking ball in the dirt, smothered up by the catcher Sosnara. Well, it rained all morning here in Cotuit and the rest of the Barnstable County. And then the sun came out around 2 o'clock. By the time I came to the ballpark, the field looked as if it was ready to go. That was around 3 o'clock. 2-2, swung on and missed. He got him with the slider at 74 miles an hour. And down goes Proctor for the first out.
Well, if you ask Jacob Erickson if he thought he'd be pitching on Cape Cod and being thrown into bases-loaded situations.
As the first pitch to Zach Rutherford, hit in the air to deep left field. Chasing back is the center fielder, Jack Klein. He slides, and he makes the grab. What a play by Jack Klein. He ranged all the way towards left field from his center field spot and made a diving grab about 10 feet in front of the wall to rob Rutherford of an extra base hit.
That's a tremendous route that Jack Klein took to the baseball. If you don't take a perfect angle on that ball, you're not catching in deep left center field. You can't be zigzagging out to the ball. Just a tremendous play in center field.
Jordan Rogers now comes to the plate, right-handed batter, and he fouls off the first pitch towards the Kettleers dugout on the left side, 0-1.
What I was saying before is Jacob Erickson was in the Ripken League just a couple of weeks ago. All of a sudden he gets the call up to Cape Cod, and Mike Roberts is putting him in situations where The tying run is on second base in a must-win ball game in the 7th.
The 0-1 pitch slapped foul, now over the Hyannis dugout on the first base side, 0-2.
That's a big change of pace for you. I'm sure he was playing in competitive baseball games as well, but these are the best of the best in summer collegiate ball that he's facing now.
Low set from Erickson, kicks and delivers, and another foul ball this time up the third base line. For the Kettleers, they'll have the top of the order in the bottom of the ninth, and Quinn Brody, Jordan Pierce, and A.J. Balta. Erickson looking to get them there, scoreless. Low set, 0-2 pitch. Hit in the air, out to right. Chasing back is the right fielder, Stevenson. He's got room, and he makes the grab in stride to retire the side. Down go the Harbor Hawks in order. We've played 7.5 here in Cotuit. It's the Kettleers 3, the Hyannis Harbor Hawks 1 on the Cotuit Baseball Radio Network.
If you're looking for quality plumbing and heating work, call Spencer Hallett at 508-428-6080 or visit their website at hallettplumbing.com.
Curry College offers 14 NCAA Division III athletic teams in sports such as football, baseball, softball, basketball, hockey, soccer, lacrosse, tennis, cross country, and volleyball. Read about the success of the Curry Colonels and their championship teams. It's all online at curry.edu.
What's donated here stays here. All blood that is donated to Cape Cod Healthcare stays on Cape Cod to help the lives of your friends, family, and neighbors. Learn more about donating blood, platelets, or hosting a blood drive at capecodhealth.org/blood center.
The Sacred Cod Tavern at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is a quintessential New England dining experience for lunch or dinner. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Spencer Hallett Plumbing and Heating, a family-owned business, has been providing plumbing and heating services to businesses and homeowners on Cape Cod for over 100 years. It's what you'd call local, as Spencer is a 4th-generation member of the business and 12th-generation Cape Codder.
Learning at Curry College extends beyond the classroom and is embedded in all that they do. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers and active citizenship with a global perspective. Explore undergraduate majors, minors, and concentrations, including new majors in accounting, biochemistry, and mobile application development, online at curry.edu.
Bottom of the 8th inning, the Kettleers lead this one 3-1 over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. They'll send the top of the order to the plate. Quinn Brody will lead it off, the left fielder out of Stanford. And he will face Garrett Cave, formerly of Florida International. He's transferring to the University of Tampa Division II this upcoming fall. And it's quite interesting that Garrett Cave is coming in. He is Hyannis' closer, and the rule is you don't usually bring your closer in on the road, especially with a tie game or just behind. And the first pitch is a breaking ball in the dirt, stopped by the catcher Hudgens, 1-0.
It might just be time for Garrett Cave to pitch again, because the last time he threw was July 24th. It's been 5 days, and now Hyannis is thinking, at least we have a close one tonight. Let's get our best pitcher on the mound, or one of our best pitchers.
The 1-0 is bounced in the dirt, 2-0. And not just that, too, but Garrett Cave hasn't pitched more than 1 inning so far. And if Hyannis were to take the lead, you'd have to imagine that they'd hand it off to him in the bottom of the ninth. 2-1 paints the outside edge for a strike, 2-1. Brody 1 for 3 on the day, but that one hit a 2 RBI single that plated both Ryan Hagan and Cal Stevenson. And he watches a fastball down low, 3-1. Jordan Pierce would step to the plate next. He ripped an RBI single to right. That made it 3-0 Cotuit. Cave the low set, outfield straight away. And the 3-1 is bounced in the dirt, and Brody will head down to first with a leadoff walk. For Hyannis, they got their run in the top of the 7th. An RBI single by Chris Hudgens. Made it 3-1. Cameron Este then followed that up with a single. And that would do it for Josh Robertson, who was in to pitch to start that inning. Jacob Erickson came in, struck out Trey Truitt, and then got Brad Netzer to ground out. Jordan Pierce at the plate now, 1 for 3. As we mentioned, that RBI single showing bunt. Pulls back, but it hits off of his bat as he was pulling back. And he has a word with home plate umpire Stuart Hall about it. And Hall says, no, that nicks something. So make it no balls and a strike. The third baseman Rogers on the lip of the grass at third. Brody leads off at first. Pierce showing bunt again. This time he pulls back all the way and doesn't touch anything. 1-1. That pitch just below the knees of Pierce. So with Cave coming on, that'll close the book on Collie Bowers. 1 inning of work, scoreless. Didn't give up a hit, and he struck out 1 Kettleer. Cave will throw over to first, and diving back is Brody. Cave a low set. The 1-1 squared at. Pierce drops down the bunt. It's dead in front of the plate. Hudgens, the catcher, picks it up and throws it over to the covering second baseman Rutherford to retire Pierce. A 2-4 putout. And the sacrifice bunt moves over Brody to second base.
Good call from Mike Roberts. You have a speedy runner on first base in Quinn Brody, who got a leadoff walk. You won't get that from Garrett Cave all that often when he enters. Take that free base, turn it into a runner in scoring position who should be able to score on a base knock. Brody with a great knack for base running and the wheels to score on most balls to the outfield.
So this will bring up Balta. Balta, a couple of ground outs to the first baseman and a hit by pitch in the 4th inning. Brody leads off a second, medium-sized lead. Shortstop Proctor right behind him, and the first pitch gets by the wickets of Hudgens, the catcher, and goes to the backstop, and scampering on over to third base is Brody. And the Kettleers have a runner on third and 1 out. Let's take a look around the rest of the Cape. This, of course, being the biggest game for the Kettleers, with Hyannis in their own backyard, but Bourne and Orleans play late tonight. Bourne with a point, that being a win or a tie, would get them into the playoffs. We'll give you the rest of the scores in a second. 1-0 coming to Balta with the infield drawn in, and a fastball nicks the outside edge for a strike, 1-1. Falmouth over Wareham right now, 2-0 in the top of the 5th. Chatham and Harwich are scoreless, and Brewster on top of YD, 7-2. In the top of the 7th, 1-1, swung on and missed. A throwback down to third base, and sliding back safely is Brody. Hudgens got up in one motion, just fired a strike down to the third baseman Rogers, but Brody was ahead of the tag.
With where that pitch was, it made it easy for Hudgens to pop up and, like you said, one motion down to third to try to pick him off.
The 1-2 to Balta with a runner on third, and that's hit in the air to the second baseman Rutherford. A little bit of a squibber, and Rutherford catches the ball in stride. Brody has to go back to third.
And now Marcus Inman comes up in a big spot. Your first game as a Kettleer, your first game on Cape Cod. Go give your team a insurance run going into the 9th.
Inman 0 for 3 on the day. A ground out, a fly out, and a strikeout. Runner on third, and the pitch is tapped on the ground to second. Rutherford picks it up and then swings it on over to first. And the Kettleers leave him stranded at third. So no runs on no hits, no errors, and one left on base. We've played 8 full, headed to the top of the 9th. The Kettleers lead 3-1 on the Cotuit Baseball Radio Network.
The Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod is keeping Cape Cod positively different by partnering with community organizations like the Kettleers and the Cape Cod Baseball League, with 9 convenient branches from Falmouth to Harwich and everywhere with mobile banking. Visit mycapecodbank.com to learn more.
The Kettleers and Cotuit Athletic Association welcome Spencer Hollett Plumbing and Heating and the Cooperative Bank of Cape Cod as members of the exclusive Kettleers Club in 2016.
Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod, with 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org.
The Beach House Grill at Chatham Bars Inn Resort and Spa is the perfect spot for a seaside lunch or evening clamping. A proud member of leading hotels of the world.
Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. Classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu.
Cape Cod Healthcare. Expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care. Urgent care is now available at 4 Cape Cod Healthcare locations: Hyannis, Falmouth, Sandwich, and Harwich. Open after hours and weekends, staffed by ER physicians. Expert care when you need it. Learn more at capecodhealth.org/urgent-care. We head to the top of the 9th, and the Kettleers lead this one 3-1 over the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. The Harbor Hawks will go 5, 6, 7 in the order. Treg Habercorn, who came on as a pinch hitter in the top of the 7th, will lead off. Left-handed hitter. He was hit by a Josh Robertson fastball, his first appearance. And the first pitch is a fastball right down the middle for a strike, and 0-1. Habercorn then came around to score on an RBI single by Chris Hudgens. That made it 3-1. High set from Erickson, the 0-1, hit in the air out to center field. The center fielder, Klein, has a beat on it, back a couple of steps, and then hauls it in with 2 outs. And down goes Habercorn for the first out. As we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Cotuit pretty much has to win out in their final 5 games with a win tonight and get a lot of help from whoever Hyannis is playing. Cotuit currently 9 points behind Hyannis, and that'll bring up Cody Henry. And the first pitch is swung on and missed at a fastball, 73 miles an hour, 0-1. You heard that right. Erickson doesn't throw it that fast. The next pitch, another 73-mile-an-hour fastball, swung on and missed. And the count is 0-2.
He's looked good tonight, though. 2 innings, scoreless and hitless ball from the lefty out of San Diego State. He hasn't walked anybody, and he struck out a pair.
So Erickson quickly ahead on Henry. 0-2. Infield and outfield straight up. The 0-2 pitch just outside. And that'll make the count 1-2. Erickson now delivering. Fastball in there, strike 3 called. How about that? Right at the belt. Erickson said, here's the old number 1. If you get a piece of it, you can name it. And Henry watched it all the way, and Hyannis is down to their last out. Third strikeout for the lefty from San Diego State, and up comes Chris Hudgens from Cal State Fullerton. Erickson from the belt, kicks and delivers, fastball right down the middle for a strike, 0-1. Cameron Este, the big bopper from Baylor, would be next if Hudgens could reach base. The 0-1, a slider low, 1-1. The Kettleers head to Bourne tomorrow. Matt Rupenthal from Vanderbilt will go. The 1-1 pitch, hit in the air to deep left field. Racing back is the left fielder Brody. He's there, and he makes the grab, and the ball game is over. And the Kettleers are still alive as they win this one 3-1. But what a phenomenal job by Jacob Erickson, who comes in with the bases loaded and 1 out, gets the 8-out save. He retires all 8 batters that he faces, and the Kettleers are going to go home happy after this one. They win it 3-1.
A must-win game like we talked about, and Cotuit gets it done. They'll have to do it a handful more times to make the Cape Cod Baseball League playoffs. But this was a performance to really put your stamp on if you're the Kettleers. 6 solid innings from Colton Hawk. Then Jacob Erickson comes in with a bases-loaded jam. He works out of it, and he stays strong through the 8th and 9th to get Cotuit the W.
So for Jason Doro, I'm John Perez signing off. Matt Rupenthal goes for the Kettleers tomorrow in Bourne. First pitch scheduled for 6 o'clock. Kettle Talk will begin at 5:30. So for Jason Doro and Hallie Harris, I'm John Perez signing off. The Kettleers win this one 3-1.
Get ready for a brand new day. So grab your hat and grab your glove. We love the runners waiting. Hey, so dock your skiff and take a walk past the coop. It's 5 o'clock. Head on down to Lowell Park. We'll keep on playing till it gets dark. But first we've got a game to win. Give that pitch plenty of spin. Let's go, boys, let's get it done. We want to see done. Hey, Cotuit, hey, hey, Cotuit. We all know that the boys can do it. Hey, Cotuit, hey, hey, Cotuit. We all know that the boys can do it. Playing baseball the Cape Cod way. Kettleers are gonna win too.